Hi. There's no game today. We're in an international break, and so Charlie and I thought we'd take this opportunity to talk about the business QPR's done in the transfer window, including the latest signing, and a complaint about the QPR ticketing system, which made it very, very difficult to get tickets to the next game, which is Reading away next Saturday. And finally, we thought we'd talk about QPR's promotional prospects based on the first 5 games of the season. So, Charlie, let's talk a bit about the business we've done in the transfer window.
Well, we, at the in January of last season, we got all these players on loan. And they all turned out to be really good for us. The likes of Johansson, Jolly Device, Sam Field, all these players. They came in. They helped us go on that great run we had at the end of the season. And then as and then the summer transfer window opened, and we managed to get them all back, which a lot of clubs can't do. And they were all great for us last season.
It was kind of surprising, wasn't it? Because QPR was supposed to be in dire financial straits with very little money to spend and on a kind of austerity drive, and suddenly they seem to have got a lot of money to spend in the transfer window.
We only spent 2 million.
Is that all we spent?
Yeah, like 1 million on Device, 500k on Johansson.
How much did it cost us to get Charlie Austin?
It's free. It's just on wages.
Right. Okay. Anyway, we did really good business, and we brought in some other new players as well.
Yeah, Jimmy Dunn came in. He's looked quite
really
good for us.
Yeah.
Looks like a solid replacement if someone gets injured, which
Yeah,
is nice
yeah.
to see.
And Sam,
Sam Field, who we haven't actually seen much.
you haven't seen him.
of,
He's
been
injured. What about the player we saw, McMullen play?
McCallum.
McCallum, yeah.
McCallum.
He looked pretty good, I thought.
Yeah.
He's on loan from Norwich,
Yeah,
right?
he's on loan.
He's
from
our only
Norwich.
loanee.
I think he's Lee Wallace is still out injured. He's a very reliable guy. He'll do fine when he'll do fine filling in that role. I don't know. We'll see if he manages to keep that role when Lee Wallace becomes fit again. It'll be good to see the.
But it's good. It's good for Warburton to have a few choices, bit of strength and depth, which we haven't had until now.
We've got a lot of wing backs. Adebayo, Kakai, Lee Wallace, and McCallum. Obviously, Wallace is out injured, but
And I think Kakai's looked pretty solid this season.
yeah, he looks like another good. It's good squad depth, which is nice to see. So if we do have an injury crisis, it's not going to be something good.
Yeah,
It's not going to be the end of the world.
And it looks like, as before with Mark Warburton, he's brought in better players than he's let go, which is quite surprising when you think about some of the players we have let go, particularly last season.
We didn't really let go of anyone in our starting 11 last year. I mean, maybe the exception is Todd Kane, obviously, but kind of wanted him out of the club, didn't we?
And there was Asara Samuel who left midway through last season.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a blow.
Other than that, though, we didn't really lose anyone in our starting lineup apart from maybe Todd Kane. But
Yeah, so Todd Kane has gone to Coventry.
yeah,
And Charlie Kelman's gone out on loan to Gillingham.
Gillingham.
But
Tash is out. Paul Smith is out.
Batash is out. Paul Smith is. Haven't we sold Paul Smith now? I think we have, haven't we?
He's gone.
Yeah, and incredibly, George Thomas is still in the squad. Hasn't gone out on loan, but maybe he'll come good.
Mac Bond is out on loan at Ipswich.
That's true, and he's doing quite well there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a few goals.
And we should talk about our latest acquisition, Andre Gray.
Yeah.
Who at one stage in his career was really racking up the goals, particularly in the Championship.
Yeah, won the Golden Boot with Burnley.
And he's slightly kind of his form has fallen off since he's played in the Premier League.
Yeah, he didn't do much,
but he's hoping for he's hoping he says he has a point to prove. He worked with Warburton before when Warburton was at Brentford.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of pace, which should give us a few more options in attack.
We don't have a lot of pace up front.
Yeah, which is why quite often we can be kind of confined to just passing the ball around in front of the kind of opponents without actually getting past them, breaking them down. So with a bit of pace and a pacey striker, hopefully that we'll see less of that and see some more threatening attacks.
Only got him on loan though.
Only got him on loan. But yeah, it gives us a few more options, and it's good because I'm slightly nervous about what might happen if Dykes gets injured.
Not gonna happen.
I know you think it's not going to happen. You think he's superhuman,
His bones are made of steel.
Let's hope so. Okay. So getting tickets to the Reading game was unbelievably difficult. An allocation was announced, and it said on the website that that they were only available to season ticket holders with the requisite number of loyalty points, and they could only be obtained by calling the QPR box office. So I called the QPR box office maybe a couple of hours after the allocation had gone up, and they were sold out. And the reason they were sold out is because anyone could buy them on QPR's ticketing website. It was nonsense that you had to be a season ticket holder, you had to have loyalty points, or you had to dial the number in order to get them. And then they put a second allocation up. That's what they said to me on the phone. They said, we're going to put a second allocation up, so you should be okay. Called again when they put the second allocation up, and they sold out again. Again, because they were just giving them away, basically. Well, not giving them away, they were just selling them to anybody
Quite nice to
on
see,
the website.
It's quite nice.
Well, quite nice to see we sold out, over 2,000 tickets in like less than 24 hours.
Finally have some fans,
Yeah, I guess it's because there's a bit of buzz about the team this season, and Reading's not too far to go. But we did eventually get some tickets, didn't we? How did we do that, Jolly?
Oh, it was amazing. So Dad was he was on the phone, and just it was like a loop of, there are 6 people still in the queue. A customer operator will be with you shortly, and it was like that for
hours, and then it would just hang up on you.
And then it would just boot you off after like half an hour.
After you've been waiting for half an hour,
and then you'd carry on doing it, and then you'd wait half an hour until you finally get to, there are only 2 people. You're like, this is it. There are only 2 people left, but no, it boots you off. So then we were kind of fed up at this point. It was like, should we just drive down to the box office and see? It's just take a chance on it, see if they've got any left. And we just managed incredibly to get the final 2 tickets, which is just great. I mean, final 2 tickets, brilliant.
Yeah, they had, and the 3 people in front of us were trying to get tickets. They'd had the same idea, and they just said to these 3 people, sold out, sold out, sold out.
But these are family.
But we asked if they had any family tickets left, and they had put something on their website saying they had a handful of family tickets left, but you had to be parent and child. Yeah.
But we got them.
We got them, so we're going. So that's exciting. Okay, so how do we think QPR are going to end up, given that they're currently 3rd in the table? How much confidence can we take from the fact that they are 3rd in the table? I looked at who was in the top 6 at this time last season compared to who was in the top 6 at the end of last season, and 3 of the teams in the top 6 at this stage ended up in the top 6 at the end of the season. So 50% chance, I'll take that. But you're more optimistic than me. I'm cautiously optimistic. You are incautiously optimistic.
I've been so pessimistic these past few years, and I'm just fed up with it. This is our time. I'm just having none of we could drop out. It's early days in the season. No.
Well,
we are just gonna get promoted. I don't care what anyone says. It's gonna happen. I'd bet my house on it if I had a house.
So here are my reasons for being a bit more cautious. First of all, only 5 games out of 46 have been played, so another 41 games to play. So just over 10% of the games in the league have been played so far. Secondly, we've been at all the games, and the margins, I think, have been quite tight in most of those games, and some of them could have gone the other way. It could have gone the other way against Coventry. I think it could have gone the other way against Millwall. We were lucky to get back into that. Middlesbrough went 1 up against us. Okay, we came back into that, and that was kind of a heroic performance with just 10 men. But even so, you kind of feel like we got the rub of the green. Decisions went our way, and the margins are so tight. If you're below the bottom, if you're below the top 2 in the championships, it's such a kind of scramble. And the differences between the teams is so small. I think we could easily not be in the top 6, even at this stage. So even though I'm optimistic, and like you, I think there's more reason to hope this season than in the past 4 or 5. Nonetheless, I'm not as optimistic as you.
I think that's I don't agree with that at all. Millwall, fine. We went 1-0 down. We were pretty bad, but as soon as we got the goal, we were the better side. Didn't you think? Maybe for the rest of the first half it was even, but in the second half, I think we were. Willock had that good chance, and Hull
Barnsley.
City.
What about Barnsley?
Okay, fine.
Barnsley went 2 up, and if they hadn't kind of shut up shop, but carried on attacking, I think they could have comfortably beaten us 4 or 5-0.
Yeah, but even if we're not one of those teams which just puts the game out of sight easily, we just could be one of those heroic comeback teams, the comeback kids who just somehow pull it out of the hat. But you know,
But why are we having to? I mean, it's true. I mean, I think one of the stats that I've talked about on the website is that QPR have won more points from losing position than any other team in the Championship since I think the 1920 season.
yeah.
But why are we always finding ourselves in this position? Why can't we just go up and hold the lead?
No, it's
Why,
'cause
we almost seem to start a little bit slow, and
we
it
never-
takes something
yeah,
to
no,
kind of galvanise
I know.
us into producing a performance. Why?
Because well, first of all, we never go up. We always concede first.
Yeah, that's
Well-
not great, is it?
Well, yeah, I know, but
That doesn't feel like a team that's going to get promoted.
it works. And Middlesbrough decisions did not go our way. 10 minutes added on, utter bollocks. That
Okay,
red
that's
card for Adebayo was very soft.
soft,
I thought
yeah.
the penalty was soft, but we still managed to get a 3-2 victory. And against Barnsley, you say, it was a very close game. You know how many unavailable players we had for that? It was not our strongest team. And, we still managed to pull a result off. And, Coventry, sorry, but they did not look like ever winning that game. Or ever,
Oh, I thought they could. If they'd have gone
In the
one
fir-
up,
yeah, in the first,
they had a stronger first
in
half
the
than us.
first, 20 minutes, which is a real problem for QPR this
Yeah,
season.
a real problem.
For the first 20 minutes were shocking.
And that's
but-
often why we end up going 1-0 down.
Yeah, but, we always come back.
It's
so-
like
Who
we
cares?
come onto the pitch slightly under par, and it takes something to kind of get us back to our best
Yeah.
form.
But, even Hull, okay, they had like a good 10-minute spell. 10 minutes. And what, is that not out of sight enough for you? A good 10-minute spell.
What you mean? Hull had a good 10-minute
Yeah.
spell, and the rest of
And
it
then,
went our way.
what do you mean that's not,
Well, I
we
said
eked out a
what
feeble
Charlie's
victory.
referring to is that I said earlier when we were arguing about this over lunch that in no matches had I felt we were really out of sight. We didn't look like we certainly don't look like a team that's going to walk it this season.
Well, yeah, but that's because we're just not going to get automatic.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well, actually,
I think no. Come on,
It-
even
it-
you.
Hey, it took till the 93rd minute for West Brom to reclaim that second position. We were there. We was and that would have been so great for the rest of the championship.
But this is after
to
5
see.
games.
Yeah, just
I think it seems pretty clear
It's
that Fulham and West
yeah,
Brom
but,
are going to be 1 and 2.
that's what I was thinking.
And then it's a bit of a bun fest, isn't it? A bun fight as to who gets into
Yeah,
who gets those other 4
it
places.
is- it
I mean,
is pretty
who are our competitors for those positions? You think
there's Stoke,
Stoke, Coventry,
Coventry,
Huddersfield,
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, Bournemouth. The likes of Cardiff, even I forgot. I can't remember.
Barnsley.
Barnsley.
Did we mention Barnsley already?
There's a
Yeah.
team.
Millwall. I think at one point you thought Millwall might be a top 6 club, but they're not looking that way now,
Well,
are they?
yeah,
But again,
well,
it's
you
early
know.
days. Anyway, we will be
But-
back next week with a match report from Reading, which you think is going to be an absolute walk in the park,
I'm
don't you?
sorry, they are just.
I'm not so
they're
sure.
not good. They just lost 4-0 to Huddersfield.
That's true, but Huddersfield having a good season.
Oh yeah, but they've had a pretty easy start. I mean, they had Preston. They don't look good this season. Reading, who again they don't look good, and other than that, those are the they've actually had 3 wins in a row so far. So they've just they lost their first 2 games, I think.
Okay.
But then they've won 3. No. They lost 1, drew 1, and won 3.
Okay.
So they actually look quite good. But
That's pretty good.
we'll see.
Yeah. Only slightly worse than us.
Promotion.
Okay. All right. See you next week.